Hey bros, what's going on? This is Cut My Butt. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Alright, so we swept the equal highs intraday and the Asian range high. That all happened, those highs happened before 8:30. So now we're currently trading above this high here. Alright, so I'm waiting for price to trade above that to give me more information. And I'll be using this sell side liquidity pool where we have equal lows as an objective. Right, so we are currently within the PM session, so let's just drop down to the 1 minute. So if we can take out this low here and create a fair value gap, I will be considering my trades. I will consider taking trade. Okay, and you can see we swept a high there. Right, so let me just mark this out. All right, so we did create a fair value gap, but I'm waiting for this candle to close below that low, right, before I can consider taking my trade. So let me just get this ready here. Just mark that out. Excuse me. So we have a possible fair value gap. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that candle to close, and we can consider this as a market shift. Right. So I'm just waiting for that candle. Right, we do have a close, so I'll be putting my limit order there and my stop loss above that high there, and my take profit below the equal lows which I've shown you earlier. Okay, so now we just have to wait and see what price does. So I'll I'll pause the video and then wait. I'll pause the video after we get triggered, and then we'll come back later on and see what happens with this trade. Right, so we have been triggered in, so I'm just gonna pause the video and come back in like 5 minutes, probably 3 minutes, and we'll see what happens or what happened. Alright, so just to keep you guys aware, I am aware of this, of the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. Right, so if price to trades towards that, that would also be okay. Let me just mark this out as the 50%. Right, so that is the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. So coming back to the charts, we can see that price did in fact trade towards the consequent encroachment and closing the fair value gap completely, also trading into this last up close candle, which we can identify as an order block, and the price had a lovely reaction lower. So I am expecting price to take out this low here and obviously to reach my objective, which is to take profit. And as I marked it out earlier, the equal lows, so the sell side there, which was Tuesday's PM session low, and we have these clean lows right here. So that is why I was looking for this as an objective. So now we're just waiting for price to play out, and we'll see what happens then. So looking at it on the 5 minute, we also do have a fair value gap here, which price might trade into. Let's mark that out right there. All right, let's head down to the 1 minute and see what we can expect here. Right, so that is obviously the 5 minute fair value gap. Looking at it on the 1 minute, we also do have another one above that, but obviously we have to trade through that 5 minute fair value gap in order to get to this one here. So now we're just waiting. So I'll pause this video and we'll get back to it again. So we are approaching the objective, right? The sell side liquidity. So let's just wait for that to get traded to, and then that concludes our trade. All right, so just waiting patiently for this to play out. So you can see we had a slight rejection, all right, but yeah, I do still believe that we obviously will trade lower because of the liquidity that we have resting beneath that. We are trading higher towards the lower fair value gap and the first one which I marked out. All right, so I'm still being patient, all right, waiting for price to trade lower. So now we just have to wait it out, all right? So because you don't want to collapse your trade too soon, okay? So we just have to be patient and let price do its thing. But let me just head down to the 1 minute. Right, so we're getting a rejection off of that 5 minute fair value gap. Now, you might see this as another market shift to go short, but keep in mind that the, the distance of your stop and the distance of the objective, right? Your risk to reward wouldn't be as appealing. Okay, so could be okay for you to take a trade on that fair value gap, but I wouldn't do that because I'm not as comfortable yet to to permanent trades, meaning to add onto my existing positions. I'll just rather let the initial one play out. Coming back to the charts, you can see we did respect that fair value gap and we didn't trade to the higher one. You'll see that on the 1 minute time frame. But we are trading within the AM session window and we are approaching the lunch hour. So it would be good if we can trade towards that sell side liquidity pool before the lunch hour, because if we just hover above that through lunch hour and getting into the PM session, there's a possibility that the PM session might be a reversal because we haven't reached that sell side liquidity pool. But to get back to that higher fair value gap, which I marked out earlier, was this one up here. So we didn't get to that. So yeah, that's okay. So for right now, I'm still waiting for the objective to get hit. All right, so has been draggy, shall I put it? But yeah, just require a lot of patience. So and you have to trust what you see. All right, so because of your back testing or you knowing what you are looking for, the patience won't be so much of an issue. All right, so let's pause this video and get back to it later on, or once price trades through that, I'll get back to you guys just to give you an update on the trade. So yeah, coming back to the trade, we are about to hit our objective which we set out. So that is great to see. If the PM session gives me the exact same rules, criteria which met, I will be taking another trade. All right, but for now, the way I'm feeling and the way I planned this trade out, it's not actually necessary for me to take another trade during the PM session. All right, so how low can we go? Let's just take a look at the 15-minute. All right, so we did hit our take profit, so that's great. So we do have this imbalance right here. All right, so we're not quite sure if we're heading towards that level to fill that in, or if we're going to reverse during the PM session and go higher. But yeah, that's it for today. That concludes today's trading. I hope you guys have the patience that I had. All right, it was a drag, but yeah, if you stick to the things that you set out to do, your your patience will get better with time. But until the next video, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great trading week, a great trading day further on, and we'll talk again. Cheers.